And we begin this hour with a manhunt that captivated this region for much of the morning, most of the day today. Wasim Asai was arrested in the district just before noon today. This whole incident began this morning, early in the hours of the morning, where he escaped from Fairfax Innova Hospital there around 3 a.m., getting away from two guards that were keeping him there. The police said that he then carjacked two different vehicles in Annandale, and then after that, the search ended up here in Southeast D.C., where 25th Street, Minnesota Avenue, and Pennsylvania Avenue all converge in Southeast D.C. Now, we have got continuing team coverage of this story for you this afternoon, beginning with Suzanne. We have Suzanne Kennedy at the hospital. We have Stephen Cheetah in Southeast, where it all ended. But let's begin now with Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Jeff Goldberg. He is in Alexandria. Jeff.
Leon, 42-year-old Wasim Asai appeared in federal court this afternoon at 3:30 wearing a white plastic jumpsuit, heavily shackled and watched over by 4 deputy U.S. Marshals. He was officially charged with escaping the custody of the U.S. Attorney General. It started well before the break of dawn, quickly escalating into an active manhunt involving hundreds of local and federal officers.
We consider this man to be armed and dangerous.
Police say 42-year-old Wasim Asai was under observation at Innova Hospital after a suicide attempt several days ago at the Alexandria City Jail, where he was facing charges related to a dozen local bank robberies. At 3 a.m., he managed to get loose from 2 security officers, a man and a woman, grabbing the female's gun, followed by the male officer firing a shot.
Thank God no one was hit, no one was injured.
Asai escaped through a stairwell as the hospital and neighboring areas went into lockdown. Police say he later snuck into the trunk of a car at a nearby apartment complex.
I don't know if the car was open or if he has skills to force his way in.
The car's owner was soon on her way to work, only to find Asai kicking in her back seat from inside the trunk. The car finally coming to a stop off Backlick Road, the female driver suffering minor physical injuries.
She was screaming like crazy in the front seat, and as the car rolled back down, I thought somebody was really hurt bad.
After the carjacking, police say Wasim abandoned the vehicle, the gun later found inside. He was then on foot for a bit before another carjacking, this time from residents at a home on Cherry Lane in Annandale.
Guy just flew right by him. The guy had to jump out the way.
What followed was a constantly moving 2-hour search from the land and air, spread across Annandale near Braddock Road and Little River Turnpike, and finally, just before noon, a sighting and an arrest across the river in Southeast Washington.
To take a violent felon off the streets of our region.
Asai is currently in the custody of the U.S. Marshals. His next date in federal court is set for Friday afternoon. Live in Alexandria, Jeff Goldberg, ABC 7 News.
Okay, Jeff, now today's escape is calling into question some of the procedures for inmates when they're taken to the hospital. And our Suzanne Kennedy will have more on that side of the story coming up at 5:30 today. So this morning's manhunt came to an abrupt end, as Leon mentioned, in Southeast D.C. after a passenger on a Metro bus spotted Wasim Asai and called 911. Then police found the second carjacked vehicle, and it was just across the Potomac. Stephen Cheetah is where that chase ended with what went down. Stephen.
Allison, still some uncertainty about exactly what happened here, but we were on the scene just before noon, and it was right over here, right at this intersection, where police finally caught up with Wasim Asai.
The escape, which riveted thousands and fanned fear across the metro area, ended in front of a handful of pedestrians.
He was right there, you know, with his coat and all that. They just had him up against the car.
This congested intersection is where a passenger on a Metro bus spotted Wasim Asai and called 911. While a chopper hovered above and pedestrians on the street watched the arrest,
They tried to keep us back.
Karen Dwyer was locked down in the nearby gas station.
I didn't know if he was going to be able to get out or if, you know, but they got him, so, yeah.
Ruthie Bradford Dixon was surprised to learn the identity of the man nabbed in front of her. She says it didn't look like him.
Not to me, it didn't. Compared to the picture, you know, the picture on TV looked a little different than he was.
Now, we do understand that there has been some confusion about whether Asai was on the bus or whether that passenger spotted him on the street. We do believe that Metro officials are reviewing surveillance video to try to get a better grip on just exactly what went on here earlier today. Reporting live, Stephen Cheetah, ABC 7 News.